Very well. Hello, guys, and welcome back to Fox the Fox Report. This is the final Premier League, at least at the moment, for us post match review following our victory at the KP against West Ham 2-1, but was not sufficient enough to stay in the Premier League for next season. Um, there's nothing that we can say other than we have ourselves to blame. It's our fault. It's the board's fault. It's Top's fault, and they let everyone, all the fans, down to this very moment where you never know what you lost until you actually lose it. You never know what you have until you actually lose it. Um, like I've mentioned before, our status in the Premier League was very it was just we took that for granted. I think the players took that for granted. I think the board, everyone took that for granted, thinking that at worst case scenario, we would still stay in the league. But clearly we've gone even further than that and now playing in the championship. Going into the chats, first of all, Leicester for life. How's it going? Speechless. Yes, we are all speechless, but we've already known that this was going to happen if we continued, and pretty much that's what entailed. Barnes will tear you apart again. That was probably Barnes' Magic Team's last game for Lefts. Yep, without a doubt, their last game, and honestly, it's the best move for us for them to leave. We need to rebuild the entire squad, and Barnes, Madison, Tielemans are not part of the plans. Particularly Barnes, a player that I really admired the way he played, his style, but just wasn't consistent enough. We didn't have any player that would compete for that position. It was always Barnes, and didn't necessarily bring too much. He only had one way of playing, and that was trying to outplace the defender. And numerous times, every single defender that we faced already knew what Barnes was going to play like, and was always stopped and just wasn't effective enough. Thomas, Vardy, KDH, Christian, Fast, Suter, Ward are the only ones I'm certain will stay. Vardy, not sure. He is, I think, 35 now, 36, somewhere around there, maybe even 34. Maybe might hold it out for one more season, but 36 years, yeah, so he's 36. Maybe might hold it out for one more season with the hopes of us getting promoted next season back into the Premier League. We'll see. Christensen, my thoughts are still very plain on whether I would want him to stay, honestly. As much as he has that desire in his game, he's kind of a hard head when it comes to committing dumb fouls and really costing us at times, and certain times where he just wouldn't press. So yeah, Fast, I think maybe he that's one player I agree should stay. KDH as well. He's a player that no matter how many times you would think he gives the ball away, he will fight till the end. He will come back. He will track back. He actually cares. Thomas, the fact that we're in the championship now, the fact that he's been playing over Christensen, I think he should. As much as I probably would have disagreed with myself months back, looking at it as it is now, we need positions, players that played in positions, that already know how our system works, and has that experience with the team. So Thomas, at this moment in time, I would have him stay. We always said Ward was championship level, and now, honestly, if we want to improve, we want to get back up to where we want to be in the Premier League, then I think Ward needs to be sold, and we keep Everson and get another goalkeeper. Obviously now, nowhere near to the names that we may have had on our list now that we're in the championship, but certainly somewhere there that's close to Premier League level that want to take a huge gamble on us and be with us for this next season at the championship. But yeah, Ward, I'd scrap him, have him leave, and then get another goalkeeper to compete with Everson. Yeah, Harvey Barnes. Oh man, what a name for that channel now. Yeah, as much as we needed help from Bournemouth, it wasn't necessarily, their obligation to keep us safe. That's on us. We were only 2 points shy, and we've missed so many opportunities in other matches. Fulham, Southampton. We couldn't have beaten Southampton this season. The team that didn't make it out to 30 points. We didn't get 3 points out of them, and that could have been enough. The match against Leeds, the match against Everton, it is really, really hard. As much as they say, yes, no one's too good to go down. With the players that we have, it is really, really hard to go down, but we made it possible. Like, to be only 2 points shy says something, says how many matches you have to lose. And like I said, with the players that we have, it just didn't seem logical. But in football, there's no logic, and it happened. As a lifetime fan, I've never seen such a bunch of lifeless individuals playing for our club. I know it like they said, the players, the board, they didn't see it coming until perhaps the last 2 weeks before yesterday's match. No one saw it coming. How is that even possible? We don't work for the club. We don't know what's going on internally within the club. They know. And how do we see it, though? How do we see that ahead of time? But they don't. It's just something. Jeff Edmeyers, mate. I like Harvey Barnes back in the 1920 season, maybe the 2021 season, but not these past 2 seasons. Very, very just disappointed. Disappointed in you, Harvey Barnes. You can't put your fate in other teams. Yep, that's true. You can't. You cannot whatsoever. It's our fault that we're down, and now we have to find a way to get back up. Vardy wouldn't leave because we're 2, and we won't get much for him. Yeah, it depends. If Vardy were not to stay, it'd probably honestly be for going to play in a different league, or he would retire. No needs for the heroes. I know. I was fine with buying it too. But yeah, it's just that bitter moment. Everything went out so well yesterday's match. Barnes scoring. And then you see the match against Everton and Bournemouth. They're drawing. We're at halftime, just 45 minutes away from being safe. And then you have Doucouré score. And then just everything that had happened against West Ham, I didn't care anymore. Fast scored just shortly after, making it 2-0. I did not even get at him. I didn't even twitch for that goal. I had no reaction whatsoever for Fast's goal because, like I said, the whole process of us being safe was no longer in our hands. It's on the hands of Bournemouth drawing or beating Everton. And yeah, it's just a bittersweet moment. Ants, how's it going, man? What a useless bunch of spoons. Honestly, guys, if you've not seen Ant's Leicester fan channel, check it out. He did a instant reaction yesterday for yesterday's match. Definitely talking a lot of facts about yesterday's match and about where we are right now. So don't forget to check out his channel as well as give him a like and subscribe. But yeah, a lot of just individuals that don't care and really will get this, kind of brunch off their shoulders after tomorrow, or maybe even already brunch off their shoulders because they're leaving. They're not going to be here, and it's good riddance. I don't want them. I think it's, if anything, it's a blessing that they leave now, and the fact that we restart an entire new team. And yeah, it's just a bittersweet moment, a problem that should have been solved a long, long time ago. The Blue Fox, hi, how's it going? You already got that championship logo on your channel. We could have conceded 2 pens. Samora and Thomas need to be careful. Samore, that is the name on my list that I want out. As much as we felt bad for him, for not starting his first season, kind of feeling a big hit coming down to the Premier League, and just slowly getting used to it. There's been numerous chances for him. He's done so many just mistakes, hasn't tracked back. He just made the most illogical decisions, as a defensive midfielder, to kind of jog back. If you fall down, slowly get back up. No, you have, it's instant. The Premier League is not for the slow players, not for the slow reactors. No, you have to get up. You have to, come back and wait until that play's over. It's just, nah, he's not going to stick about. And yeah, honestly, Samori could leave, man. Like, if it was up to me, I'd say he leave right now. Yeah, I don't feel bad anymore for him. Afternoon, Jeff. LCFC, great for a flop. Everyone, including all players and the board, should come forward and explain how the catastrophic events were allowed to spiral out of control. Where is the accountability? That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for some sort of statement for the club to say that, they messed up, because they messed up big time. At least we won, but we haven't played like that all season. Yes, and it's honestly a slap in the face for at us, from Harvey Barnes and Madison and all those players that are just turning up now. Where were you guys, months, weeks before that? Even when Dean Smith came, where was that play? Where was that type of desire to actually win? They don't care. They don't care. Keep Mendy if we can. Yes, Mendy, I don't see him staying, honestly. We've done so much damage to him as far as not letting him play, and having him on the bench. I wouldn't, in his best interest, it's best he would leave, to see himself, international player, playing for Senegal, playing a World Cup, probably want to keep playing in first tier football. It's best that for him, in his best interest, for him to leave. I would love for him to stay, but I'm not sure if that will happen. Yes, was too little too late. Yes, and as much as we can blame the board and blame top, it's also the players, man. They're the ones that playing on the pitch. Like, they know, as much as what's going on, internally. Play better, show some desire. None of them showed any desire, especially when Dean Smith came about. It's just, no. Daddy Chap, hey Jeff, how's it going? Bad, horrible, 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 horrible. But guys, what's done is done. We are now in the championship. We look forward, what's in front of us, to try to find a way to get back out, get back out into the Premier League. And that begins with, who's staying, who's leaving, who preferably I want to stay. They showed passion in the last game, too late, honestly. Yeah. And first off, I'm not sure who will stay. I have not necessarily experienced what it is to play in the championship. I don't know, what the terms come about when the Premier League team goes to the championship, how many Premier League starters stay with the team in the championship. This is the first time. Who do you want to be the manager? As much talk has been going on, from what I've been hearing, it's 2 weeks until the championship window for transfers opens. So at the moment, we need, like I said, a manager. We need, the right recruiting. And Dean Smith, I'm not brushing off the question whether he should stay or leave, because I think, he should. I think if that opportunity comes about, or he knows us, he's been our manager for the past 8 matches. He knows how the team, what players we have and what players perhaps he can try to convince to stay and help us this season. At at the moment, I think Dean Smith should stay. That's what I'm going with. It's right now we're in desperate times, and we need someone who knows the team, more than anyone at the moment. Um, that's trained with the squad and can make the decisions as far as getting new players in and trying to build up a team for next season. I want Blackburn, man. Haven't heard too much about him, but like I said, it's whichever comes best for us and is our best interest. I'm all open for. LCFC, great for our Fox. Smith probably will stay. Yeah, like I said, he knows the team right now more than anyone. And if we were to gamble on some other manager that could perhaps help us or could not, I wouldn't take that risk. But yeah, time's flying by. Like I said, 2 weeks until the transfer window opens for the championship. We gotta start making some changes now. It was Little Roger's fault, but players had more faults. Yes, without a doubt. I don't know if you guys saw Kelechi Iheanacho's interview. After the match, you definitely do not just see a player who is just playing for a team, getting a paycheck. No, you definitely see a player who has a strong connection for the club. And as much as he was not being used, he really feels the whole relegation. He's definitely hurt by it. And it just shows like why how could we have treated a player who's given so much for us for the minutes that he's played. Yeah, it's just very sad to see, and I hope he stays. Yeah, it's a big possibility he will leave, but if he stays, for sure he should be the captain for for this coming season, and we should work around Kelechi Iheanacho. That's just my opinion. And yeah, that's just honestly sad to see that Kelechi Iheanacho is feeling so down. He's honestly the only player that I think's felt the most hurt out of everyone that's played. All the other selfish players that don't even care about where we are right now. Russell Martin gone to Southampton. Yes, speaking of Southampton, particularly, they already have their manager, so they're already one step ahead of the game, already thinking for this next season. And that's something that we have to find out what's the case now for the next manager this coming week. I don't think we should just try to postpone that for next week or the following. No, everything has to happen as of this week as far as manager goes, recruiting goes. We should start making moves before the whole list. Before the whole schedule comes out for the championship. And yeah, going back to just player reactions to the entire relegation thing, I'm not sure if Harvey Barnes or Madison have even said anything, regarding this. And it just shows, Harvey Barnes, a club play, an academy player. You have to feel something, and it's nothing. All we know is that he wants to go to, or there's some interest with him with Newcastle, with Aston Villa, with West Ham. Nah, yeah, I'm not really taking it. I'm not lying. Says I'll leave. Southampton already have the core of their squad. Yeah, never heard of Russell Martin. Yeah, so those are the things, honestly, that we have to really figure out. Like I said, I have no idea whatsoever of how the championship will play out. All I know is that there's more games. Obviously, it's much more competitive. We do have the EFL Cup, we do have the FA Cup, but just seeing how things play out now, looking back at teams that have been relegated before, we are, I don't know if it's just myself being biased, but we are a very special team that has gotten relegated. We are not a team that on paper, are bad, that, we just played. We're just, we have no chemistry. We played horribly. We have no skill just based off, the way our abilities go. No, ability wise, knowing our abilities, we are a top mid-table team. And the way were able to get relegated is just a drastic change. So, can we somehow manage to go in with that mentality that, we're just going to be in a championship for this time out, just, this new season. And after that, we bounce back. Meaning, can we stick and hold on to some Premier League players that we have and, try to, get back up into the Premier League next season? That's the thing. So I'm not necessarily thinking about staying in the championship for too long, at least if we keep a majority of first team players. Obviously, Madison's leaving. Obviously, Barnes is leaving. Tielemans is leaving. Castagna is leaving. Daka, Kalichi, and Nacho. Nothing yet. No hint yet that they're leaving. As much as we heard from Kalichi Nacho catching some interest from Inter, from other leagues, not sure. Daka, him leaving, I don't see him going to a mid-table team. Maybe, lower mid-table club, Premier League, if there's some interest, but I necessarily don't see him, catching any interest from anyone. Maybe Luton Town, or Sheffield, like those types of teams would probably be in his future if he were to leave. But I see them staying. I see those players staying. Kalichi Nacho, one big if. And yeah, that's just one thing that that I'm kind of in kind of just thinking about to see whether truly we're in for a big challenge, or can we just scrap it up, get the team going, and then just find our way into the Premier League next year. Let's see. He imagine we go down to League One. I know, honestly, right? Just like literally like relive a whole Southampton, till I die moment, where they just, get down to championship and then get relegated to League One. That would be dreadful. Hopefully, if Dean Smith stays, he does what he did at Villa. Yeah, it just wouldn't be a bad gamble to take. To start, we need the right mentality for the championship. Blowing bubbles, how to see you go. You will boss a championship, mate. Yeah, depending on who stays, without a doubt, I think so. But going to what LCFC Gray Forever Fox says, right mentality, and that begins with keeping the players, or trying to keep the players that we have at the moment, and telling them that listen, this is just a pit stop in the championship. Let's rebuild. Let's scrap everyone who's leaving. Let them go, and let's just boss a championship and get back up. Can't wait for Plymouth, a new ground for me. It's a whole new experience for everyone, honestly. And I don't know how many matches I'll be able to see now. The fact that we're in the championship, my streaming service, when we were in the Premier League, I was able to see every single match. Now with the championship, it's very, very limited. So I honestly, I don't know how many matches I'll be able to see. Hopefully they make an exception now, the fact that Leicester's in the championship, not a big club to the media, but a very special club, for everyone. So hopefully they do something, and they somehow just allow, us in the US fans to watch every single match of the championship. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Tracking back into what has been ongoing before this whole relegation even happened is the fact that we have friendlies coming up. I think in the Asian Cup against Tottenham and against Liverpool, I think it's like 2 weeks before the championship even starts. So that's one thing that just I'm not looking forward to. And yeah, no, I don't see it getting any better when it comes to preparations, because we honestly have other things to worry about, and that's getting players first. Will Castagna stay? Probably not, and I think we could possibly find better. Get a dodgy fire stick. I bet you will lose one next year, depending on transfer window. Yes. So honestly, not sure on who is in our list on our list for transfers coming in. I can only think about players that are returning, such as Chowdhury, George Hurst, who has been apparently doing well or has done well on his loan spell. Players that I think from the academy should perhaps already find a way out is I want to say Lewis Brunt. He played a couple matches in the FA Cup, and I don't see any as much as he's an academy player. I just don't see any positive reinforcement for us. For this squad, his pace isn't adequately average at all. Kind of mimics Vestergaard in a way. Hopefully, I'm wrong and there's some just drastic change in Lewis Brunt's ability. But from what I saw, I'm not looking forward to him being a first team player at the moment. Other players, honestly, in the academy, like Will Alves, Sammy Braybrook, I think they may be an additional, a great addition to the squad when they come back from injury. But these players should have been loaned out. They should have had some first team experience. There's numerous players that should have been loaned out, and only just a finger count of players were loaned out, like Casey McAteer, which I think didn't do too well in his loan spells. And let's see who else, like Casey McAteer, George Hurst, and I think that's it, honestly, from what I can count. But yeah, for instances like this, it would have been best if our academy players had been loaned out to lower league teams, and at least now where we are now, they come in with some experience. But these players all played the academy, played under 21 level. It only adds just maybe a little help, but not necessarily any first team help. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this post-match review. Just get back to work, honestly. Get back to work and into what we have looking ahead of us, which is manager status, whether Dean Smith stays or not, players, who's staying, who's leaving, and start thinking about the championship, really. It's a moment to rebuild, and who knows, we may hopefully, find some positivity out of this. Hopefully the board, there's some drastic change in maybe, new management, new positions being filled as far as recruiting goes, and getting, this team back to where it needs to be. But yeah, that's all I have for this post-match review. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Probably, when it comes to, I'll have some discussion going on when players leave, as far as new incoming players. So stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.